Hi, everyone. I'm a co-founder of Empallo, and we use AI to improve heart failure management. This is Dr. Stephen Horng, an ER doctor at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. A few years ago, he came to MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence lab with a problem, which is that it's exceptionally difficult to manage heart failure. Now, some people in the audience might be wondering what's the difference between heart failure and heart attacks. Heart attacks are where blood flow to the heart is blocked. Heart failure is where the heart fails to pump enough blood to the body. Heart failure is a leading cause of hospitalization in the US, resulting in about 1 million hospitalizations annually and $12 billion in hospitalization costs. Even more frustrating is that about 20% of heart failure patients come back to the hospital within 30 days of discharge. The main challenge is the variability of this disease. Two patients can have similar symptoms but heterogeneous response to treatment. In this example, we see patient John on the top row and patient Jane on the bottom. Patient Jane is discharged without being fully diuresed, meaning not enough excess fluid is removed from her body before she's sent home. A few days later, she's rehospitalized and sent to the ICU. Empallo learns from millions of patient records to predict future clinical trajectories and recommend timely interventions. Our vision is to be an AI platform that integrates siloed patient data to improve heart failure management. Here, we see our minimum viable product, or MVP, which we've already built on the top half of the slide, and more of our midterm vision shown in dotted lines on the bottom half of the slide. So far, we've integrated EHR data and chest x-rays from PACS, or imaging systems, into one overarching model with two main outputs that help with medication planning and discharge decision-making. Our target users for our initial product are ER doctors in the emergency department and cardiologists, hospitalists, and population health management teams in the general ward and ultimately in the outpatient environment as well. In the midterm, we plan to incorporate continuous data streams from wearable devices, implantables, and patient self-reported data, and some next phase applications we're building include a patient recruitment tool for clinical trials for medical device manufacturers and ultimately pharma companies as well as home monitoring. So why are we the right team to build these solutions? I'm Claire. I just finished my MBA at MIT, where I completed a healthcare certificate. My co-founder, Ray, completed his computer science PhD at MIT last summer. We have 2 machine learning engineers and 7 scientific advisors with deep expertise in machine learning and managing heart failure. We're excited about the partnerships we've built. Our journey began with Beth Israel, and we've recently gotten agreements with the VA at the national level and the University of Colorado Hospital. Our technology has appeared in 2 peer-reviewed publications and been featured in MIT News. Our prototype was built on about 500,000 patient records from Beth Israel, incorporating both chest x-rays and EHR data. We've recently gotten agreements with the VA and UCH to share 2 million patient records and 50,000 patient records, respectively. We've already begun retrospectively testing and enhancing our algorithms and are preparing for prospective pilots next year. Our customer in the near term is hospitals facing high readmission rates. Hospitals are penalized for readmissions in 2 main ways. First, if a hospital sends a heart failure patient home and they come back within 30 days, the hospital has to cover those costs. And second, if over the course of the year, a hospital's readmission rates are above the benchmark or threshold set for them by CMS, then in the following calendar year, all of their reimbursements across the board can be reduced by up to 3%. In the mid to long term, we also plan to sell to medical device manufacturers and payers. Our total market is over $60 billion, and our TAM is $3 billion. So far, we've obtained about $150,000 in non-dilutive grants, but additional capital is needed for our next phase of growth. We are so thrilled to have the opportunity to be here tonight. Pitch competitions like this make a huge difference for early stage pre-seed companies like Empallo. We are currently fundraising, so we'd love to speak with any interested investors after the pitches. Thank you.
I can ask a question. Would love to hear a little bit more about the business model. You mentioned some of the partners that you're going to be working with. Who do you sell to? What does that process look like? Where are you sort of at in those conversations?
Yep. Near term, we plan to sell to hospitals. We have plans with our hospital partners to launch prospective pilots next year. We plan to charge for our pilots. And after that, we plan to sell to additional hospitals as CDS, clinical decision support software, which does not require FDA clearance. Longer term, we may evaluate pursuing FDA clearance, 510K clearance under the product classification of software as a medical device.
Could this technology be used for other medical conditions? Or are you planning only to focus on the impaired heart disease?
Right now, we're very focused on heart failure, but in the longer term, we do see opportunities to expand to other chronic conditions because the data inputs and the type of algorithms we're building can naturally be extended to other areas such as COPD and kidney failure.
Just quick clarifying question. It's platform plus SaaS fee is the business model?
For hospitals, we plan to charge an upfront fee to cover integration costs and then a subscription fee to capture a % of savings from avoided readmissions.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.